I will declare a quorum. We will take a moment to recite the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
The
republic
republic for which it
stands,
which it
stands,
stands, one
one
nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and
with
justice.
liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. I just ask that our prayers and thoughts go out to all those that have lost loved ones during this coronavirus and that everyone stays safe. The next item is open forum. Dolores, did anyone sign up for open forum? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Do we have somebody to sign in? I don't have any.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next item is the consent agenda, items 5 to 10. Does anyone have any questions regarding that item?
On which one, Ms. Eel?
We're moving on to the consent agenda, items 5 through 10.
Yes, I had a question. Hold on one second.
Orozco.
Let me gather myself here.
Sure.
On the, hold on a second. Do we purchase some trucks, some vehicles? I think it's a Freightliner and an F300 or 350. Is that correct? I lost my place. I had it marked. I just lost my place. Hold on. Anybody hear me?
Yeah, that is correct, and it was budgeted during the FY 2020 fiscal year.
Okay.
The engineering committee does know about it, and it was approved.
Okay. The only reason I was asking, I think on the, man, I just can't find it. It's on there. Do we buy 2 of them? A total of 4?
So far, okay, so we've got 2 purchased for Mr. Magallanes and 2 for Mr. Orozco.
Exactly the same, right?
They're different trucks. Mr. Magallanes are 2 different trucks as well.
Okay, because only on the spreadsheet, and I just can't, for the life of me, I had it in my hand right now, and when I stood up, here it is, hold on. Like on that very first page, it's a F350 mechanic truck, and then a Freightliner on the first page, and on the last page, 2 more of them the same. Is it the same purchase or 2 separate purchases?
At the same price?
Same price, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's a dual entry.
I apologize. Yeah, if it has the same PO number, then it's the same purchase.
They
Right.
did it on purpose to make sure you were staying on top of it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe we don't need to test me. Just test your the staff. Make
No, it's a
not
mistake.
have both of them on there. How about that? Don't test me.
We made a mistake.
But that's fine. So it's only 2 vehicles, right, Jerry?
Yes,
2
sir.
vehicles. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, I'm not questioning the purchase. I just saw, did we need 4, or I wasn't sure if it was the same thing, or maybe 1 for field operations, 1 for engineering. I wasn't sure. I was just asking.
Yeah.
And just 1. I guess it's a solid waste truck, right? The Freightliner.
It could be an attenuator. I don't know what. I guess the price will tell you.
Oh, it's the Pro Patch for
It's
field
the Pro
operations. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. All right,
So
thank you.
we bought a Pro Patch, we bought an F350, and we bought 2 solid waste trucks. this
Okay,
year.
perfect. That's fine. All right. I have no further questions.
So do I hear a motion to approve items 5, the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. This is Rod Chavez.
In a second? I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item, the regular agenda, item 11, general manager's report. Mr. Grijalva. Mr. Grijalva, before you start, you look so handsome with your haircut.
Oh, come on, don't say that. I feel bald. I know what
I see you
Mr.
did-
Hernandez is going through. man.
I see you decided to give your barber a chance.
Yeah, David Ramirez finally opened up.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so here we go. Bear with me. I didn't finish, so as soon as we get to regulatory enforcement, I'm gonna rely on their PowerPoint and see what happens. So here we go. All right, can you see it?
Yes.
Now I'm
Yes.
gonna,
Yeah.
I'm gonna click on slideshow. Did it start the slideshow?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay, so now let's go to the next page. You see the next page? Discussion items?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, so we're good. All right, so we'll be talking about all the various engineering projects first. I won't talk about feature development. That was a typo, so we'll go. I didn't see that coming. Mesa del Norte, it was actually delayed until the irrigation season is over. That particular ditch, La Isla and Salitral, will probably, Isla is closed as of today and Salitral as of next week. So sometime October 1st, we'll be able to resume. The contractor will require or request startup fees for that. Cuadrilla Package Plant, we've solicited help from Mr. Blanco's office. We have the governor telling us that it's our property, but it's not listed in the central appraisal district as our property. And so the electric company doesn't want to give us service because they don't think we're the owner. I don't know who else would put a package plant there and maintain it, but so we need to convince the electric company that we're the owner of that property. And we're working on that. As soon as that's done, the electric company will give us the three-phase service. They're already ready to go. Rosa Azul project is coming along. We now have the yard lines being connected to the residents. That has begun as of last week. So it's moving along. We are waiting for the lift station approval by Socorro City Council still. The manhole adjustment, San Elizario looks okay, and now we're working on final completion, which is in Moon City. By the way, we're running into all kinds of manhole issues that we're going to be discussing in future meetings. One of them, obviously, some of you that live in San Elizario know Chicken Ranch Road. We had a manhole collapse there. So we got one of our emergency contractors fix it. We have another one on Campo Bello and FM 1110. So we'll be working on that one next. Julie Lane and Sudan Drive are moving nicely. Aside from the line burst and the new installations, Mr. Orozco is doing a great job of moving that project along. So far, they've got that much done on the project. And basically what this is we're changing out our old AC pipe with new pipe before the city of Socorro repaves that street. The assessment's also moving along. As far that's the 36-inch line that we're doing an assessment of, the one that caused all kinds of havoc that affected Mr. Carrasco's schools. Okay, this is the human resources report for the month. So far we're at 121. We were able to maintain an average more or less of about 120 employees for the whole year. These are our openings currently. We have interviewed for the tanker driver, and we may get a tanker driver and a pipe layer out of those interviews. We'll see. Any questions on the employee relations issues?
No questions. Thank you.
No questions.
Safety. These are relatively new charts, so I think you guys are going to be holding us accountable for safety. We're working on it. For the longest time, I told them if they went 90 days without an injury, I would, me personally, would make them a barbecue. But since I've been here, they haven't done it. So we're still working on what's going to work to help these guys not have the level of injuries that we have. It's not much for the district, but I think we can do better. These are the property damage claims against us. And we get all kinds of, one of these days, one of us will have to write a book as to what people claim that we caused damage to. Records management for the year. Customer service, currently really close to 19,000 accounts. I'm sure we'll accomplish that by the end of the calendar year. Our income is slightly, I think, lower than last month's. We're working on the automatic telephone answering service, and that's supposed to begin sometime within the next 30 to 60 days. New installations, it went down a little bit, so our developments are actually easing down a little as far as new installations. What I was told is, as the money comes in, then they want their new installations, usually around tax time is when we're the busiest installing new lines, new services. Your solid waste and the commercial containers that currently have out. The landfill report. Unaccountable trash. So we'll try ourselves not to generate so much trash. This is the field operations report. Aside from the Sudan and Judy Lane line extensions that they're doing, they're also doing installations and repairs. Okay, so now we go to regulatory enforcement. Let me know if you do not see that one. So here we go. You know, Zoom is actually making us all experts. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can. Yes, fog.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna start it from the beginning. All right, so here we go. That's basically what our manager's been doing with regard to the workload that he's got. all of our managers put in a considerable amount of work themselves into the various projects, aside from managing their people. Mr. Mireles is one of the busiest ones. He's a guy that's handling all the sewer emergencies, and we've had a lot of them since COVID began. These are our compliance duties for the month. I think you're going to see an agenda item where we're soliciting or we've picked a vendor for our tank inspections. What we're going to do with the tank inspections, we're also going to include the Clint tank. The painting the Clint tank has gotten out of hand. The electric company wants almost as much money as the painter wants to paint it to actually monitor the painting. So we're not going to spend that kind of money. We're going to try and get it inspected to see if we can make that tank functional, and then it would be worth painting and fixing. This is cross connection for the month. In our budget, we're actually, we wrote a summary to our budget report that you're going to see next week. And the summary includes cross connection, fog, and the septic pumping, all of which are generating income for the district. Our water sampler, by the way, this guy is probably the busiest man in the district. He's a guy that gets the emergency calls when our SCADA finds something wrong with our systems, and he's always out there. I get the GPS alerts when vehicles move within the district, and his is one of the most busiest trucks there is. There you go, that's his SCADA duties. So aside from his regular duties, he's had to entertain emergencies, probably 22 during the month that have occurred after hours. This is the septic pumping that occurs here in Clinton, lift station 7. So that's what our total fees look like for the month of August. Our fog program. By the way, the fog people are also managing the septic dumping. Our fire hydrant tech. Here's where, remember, I don't know if you guys remember, we used to ask Mr. Land, what's happening to all of the water? Why is it not accounted? We now have accountable water, and that's basically how much water we spend in a month just to flush our lines to keep the water clean. Okay, and that's the regulatory compliance report. I'm going to try this again with the mechanic shop. I think I'm on a roll. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so that's the total of number of work orders they've had for the month. They do have a mechanic approved for another mechanic approved for FY21. So we're going to start advertising for that position next month. As you can see, not only do we, but Omero's got his work cut out for him with regard to managing our tire repairs. Okay, so finally we have IT. And I think I'm just going to show you the first page of IT so that you can see more or less what they were working on for the month. Here we go, one last time. Do you guys see it? Information Technology September Managers Report?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, yes.
So that's basically what they were doing for the month. Ryan, the programmers, is that on the next page?
Looks like it's missing.
Hey, Jerry, are you guys installing the new water meters to like the new connections?
The water meters themselves, I think, are going to go out for bid this next month. We're going to advertise, and then so that we just got the bid proposal as written by Mr. Estrada today. So we're going to tweak it a little bit, and then we'll get it going. If we need to have a special board meeting to push it along faster, I'll ask you guys if you want to do that. But we're very close to submitting for the bids for our water meters.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, and that's it for me.
Okay, anyone have any questions?
Ms. Vihil, I have a question.
Yes.
Jerry, on that Clint water tank, why is the electric company involved so much?
So basically, they've got some high power lines in the area. And since the painting company is using a crane, they need to make sure that none of their wires get touched by the crane. And so they want to be there the whole time the crane is there. And I think the latest estimate, not the actual charge, the latest estimate based on the hours we told them we'd be working is $67,000. The painting contractor is charging us $75,000 to paint it. So it just doesn't make sense. And we still have to figure out how much our contractor for the road detours and all of that is going to charge us. So it's turned into a nightmare. At the same time, the people were coming together in the various school districts and the water improvement district to be able to fund the stickers we're going to put up there. But the painting itself has just gone really out of hand. So we'll try another way. I think the inspector of the tank, as they refurbish the tank on the inside, may be able to offer to paint it on the outside without the use of a crane, I'm hoping. And it would cost us a heck of a lot less because then the electric company doesn't have to get involved.
Okay.
We'll see how
All right.
all of that fares, and we'll be talking to you guys on how it's doing. We're trying our best to paint the tank. It's just at this point right now, it's not the most cost-effective thing to do. You guys approved funding for the electric company, but it's almost double now, and we don't want to come back to you for more approvals.
Yeah, I'm a big supporter of it, but I'm just, we talked about it, I think, at the last finance committee, and it just, I'm just surprised the electric company would be that way. Are any of the other entities willing to kind of help out a little bit? The town of Clint?
No, they're having a hard time funding $250 for their stickers. They're not going to fund thousands. Yeah. The school district says they can't because they're a government entity and it's not their property. The town of Clint hasn't even shown up to the meetings.
Yeah.
The water improvement district is in the same boat. They can do something for them, but not for us because it's not their tank.
Yeah.
So pretty much we're alone in this thing.
I'm just thinking only because to get it going, making it functional, I'm sure that'd be a big cost, but that's a whole nother meeting.
Don't know. Okay, so we're at about $175,000 right now. We could probably build one for that price. So I'm being facetious, but we're getting really close to being able to replace it without messing with painting it.
I got you. Okay. No, well, thank you.
All right.
Okay, being that there's no further questions, we'll move on. I'm going to make a motion to move the order of the agenda. I'd like to move item 17. So that's in the form of a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Estrada. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, motion carries. Item 17, consider and take action to award request for statement of qualification for engineering consulting services, RFQ number 20-0810-01. Rosa?
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, board members, Mr. Blanco, and all present. The administration published a request for qualification for engineering consulting services on Friday, July 17th and Friday, July 24th in the El Paso Times. Statements of qualifications were received and opened Wednesday, August 12th at 3 p.m. The district received statements of qualifications from the following firms: Brown and Caldwell, CEA Group, Consor Engineering, CSA, ESCO, Friesen Nichols, FXA, Garber, H2 Terra, MCI, Barkill Smith and Cooper, and Tank Industry Consultants. Submittals were evaluated by a 4-member committee inclusive of the following district personnel: Gerald Grijalva, General Manager; Ed Long, Chief Operational and Technical Officer; Daniel Hernandez, Project Engineer; and Michael Flores, Grant Administrator. The evaluation process was based on a point system, rating firms based on content of the RFQ in the following categories: consultant firm and team technical expertise, the staff qualifications, experience and background of key personnel on similar projects, past relations and performance with Lower Valley Water District, references on related projects, compliance with the RFQ instructions, and schedule of availability. On the screen is the evaluation worksheet utilized by each committee member, who thoroughly went through all of the statement of qualifications. And we wanted to provide the board with an example of how the committee came to the total scoring of the engineering firms. In your agenda packets, you received the summary of results. So basically, the worksheet, for example, let me see. Brian, can we see the first page?
No, those are fictitious numbers, okay? Make sure you say that.
Excuse me?
They're fictitious numbers.
Yeah, well, this is just like the template that the committee utilized. So
Yes.
for example, on the first category, consultant firm and technical expertise, in the RFQ packet, there was engineering firms it was disclosed the percentage each category was going to carry. Below is a subcategory that's related to the main category. So the point system was designed to where if it's 20%, the max points was equally divided by the 4 categories. So max points there was 5 points. Then the committee scored the engineering firms from 1 to 10 based on the content of the RFQ. Of course, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Then the weight that was assigned to them was also equally distributed among the categories. So, and then it was a total score. So I think it was I guess it was like the 5 points times the 10, and I don't know if it was divided by the 5%. Mr. Long, can you weigh in on? I think that's how you came to the total scores, right?
Oh,
Yes, that's correct.
Multiply.
Multiplied, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it was multiplied way across to get to the total scores. Normally, when we do those presentations, we just provide the board members with the total numbers. This year, we wanted to provide the worksheet that was utilized so that you understood how the committee came to the total scores of the engineering firms. The administration is asking the board approve and authorize the award to 5 engineering firms, the top 5 scoring engineering firms, which I will disclose at this time. The 5 scoring engineering firms are MCI, FXA, Park Hill Smith and Cooper, CEA, and ESCO. So the administration is recommending the award to these top engineering firms for the request for qualification engineering consultant services, RFQ number 20-081001. Does the board have any questions?
Mr. Long, I thought we had decided to go with 6 instead of 5.
That's your all decision. We're recommending 5 firms. If you all want to bring on one more firm, we can.
Given the bond issuance, maybe 6 or 7 would be good for this next 3 years.
Well, at our engineering committee meeting, we had said 6.
Yeah, if the engineering committee met and they agreed on a certain amount, why would we be changing that?
Okay, I wasn't aware of it, but I mean.
At the meeting, we talked about 5 firms, a possible maybe a 6th firm, if you all felt there was needed with the amount of work that we're going to have in the next couple of years. I'll leave it up to you all. We can definitely add one more firm to the mix.
Now, what was the next firm? We know what the next firm is, Rosa?
Yes, sir. It would be CSA Design Group.
So it would just be a matter of rewording the motion to include CSA in this selection and make it 6 instead of 5.
Okay, so we'll redo the motion. The administration is requesting the board award request for qualifications for engineering consulting services, RFQ number 20-0810-01 to the top 6 engineering firms, which are MCI, FXSA, Park Hill Smith and Cooper, CEA Group, ESCO, and CSA Design Group.
Okay, does anyone have any questions regarding that?
No question.
No questions.
So do I hear a motion to approve?
I move that we approve item 17 as amended, 6 engineering firms.
Okay, it's been moved. Do I hear a second?
I'll second. David Carrasco.
And seconded by Mr. Carrasco. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Excuse me, is Mr. Trujillo on? Is he on the meeting, Mr. Trujillo, or no?
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
there.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't know if we were, it was all 5 or just 4 of us.
You're gonna tell me you missed him?
Yeah, I did. I missed him. I hadn't heard him, so I missed him. Thank you.
He's getting real quiet. Okay.
Actually, Mr. Trujillo, you're on mute.
Yeah, Mr. Trujillo, you're on mute.
Guys, I just did something with my agenda. Hold on.
I put the agenda up.
Ryan, where's the mute button?
Thank you. Okay,
On the top right corner of the iPad, Mr. Trujillo, if you can hear me.
Right top or right bottom?
Yeah, the top right, if he's using the iPad.
Top right, there should be a speaker there, Mr. Trujillo. Just click on it and it'll unmute you. Oh my gosh. You may want to call in with your phone and we'll put you on speaker here. Call me with your phone and I'll put you on.
are we ready to go on? Are we waiting for Mr. Trujillo or?
Looks like it's calling him.
All right, Mr. Trujillo, can we hear you?
Yeah.
All right, he's on. Can you guys hear him?
We can hear.
Yeah, but there's like
There's
like a
some
feedback
noise in the
loop.
background. Okay. We're gonna go on to the item, okay? The next item is item 12, discussion and take action to approve the fiscal year 2021 budget. Mr. Hernandez.
Good evening, board members. I request authorization to table items 12, 13, and 14 because we're going to discuss these items next week on the series, the special board meeting.
You can hang up. It looks like he's on.
We're gonna table which items again, sir?
12, 13, and 14.
And 14. Okay, I guess, Steve, I'm okay by asking for a motion to table all three items at the same time, correct?
Yes, that's fine. We can
Okay, I'm sorry.
I so move to table these items,
I second items 12, 13, and 14, correct?
12, 13, and 14.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
From 102 to 108. We already discussed that with the bank. They do agree. At this moment, the collateral has been close to 11%. It's going to allow us to deposit additional funds at Western Bank. At this moment, we have around 11.5 million there. With the additional collateral, we can have a meeting with the investment committee and we can make a decision and maybe we can transfer some additional funds because at this moment they are giving us the interest rates higher with Western Bank.
It is, go ahead, I'm sorry.
In addition, we're not recommending any changes to the investment strategy. The investment strategy is on page 9 on the investment policy. We're not recommending any changes there. And the same thing with the list of brokers. We have Western Bank, Logic, Teststar, Tesla Class, and Lone Star. We have only 5 brokers, and we're not recommending any changes there. The only changes that we're recommending is to increase the collateral from 102 to 108 for the investment policy, section 8A of the investment policy.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? If not, it is the recommendation of the investment committee that was held by Mr. Trujillo and myself that we approve this item as presented to us. And I'm certain Mr. Trujillo will second that.
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yes, we could hear you.
No?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, that's great. So we have a motion and I'll second it. Right?
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. We'll go on to item 16, discussion and possible action to approve the write-off of delinquent accounts. Martha, hi, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you, Mr. Hill?
Okay.
Good afternoon. The administration would like the board members to consider and take action to approve the write-off of delinquent accounts. The administration is recommending writing off delinquent accounts with outstanding balances dating October 1st, 2014 through September 30th, 2015 in the amount of $61,437.26. The probability of collecting these delinquent accounts is remote since the accounts are at least 5 years old and removing these accounts from our books is prudent. Collection efforts on these accounts will continue after they have been removed from general ledger and the customer service subledger. The administration recommends writing off the delinquent accounts on the list attached. The administration recommends approving the write-off of delinquent accounts.
Ms. Vigil,
Ms. Nevares? Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
go ahead, Rock. Go ahead.
Yes, I just had a question. So you're going to continue trying to collect on these? Are you going to refer them to a collection agency, or what is the plan
Yes.
for these accounts? The other thing is, I noticed, I went through some of the accounts. There was one that was really high. It was 2,111, belongs to a company called Camino Contracting Incorporated, and they're still in existence. I think they have their office over on Boeing Drive in El Paso. But I noticed that my compadre is on there, and he passed away about 10 or 15 years ago. I guess the family continued using the name, but then my comadre, she passed away this year, but she was bedridden and in a nursing home for, I think, over 10 years now. So I know you're not going to be able to collect on that account.
Yes. And yes, to answer your question, Mr. Chavez, we have contracted a service collection agency. And to date, we have recovered $1,254.88, which is the amount for 2 months, actually July and August. So efforts are still continuing. For example, last year we did bring to the board the total of $76,692.91, and we actually wrote off $69,640.93, which means that we were able to recover $7,051.98. So the efforts are still in effect. We're still collecting on these accounts, and like I said, it's now turned over to the collection agency. So they are assisting us every month. What I do is I send them a report. We did have a backlog of accounts that were delinquent, and we have been able to recover on those as well.
Okay, thank you. I have no other questions. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Vigil, I have a question.
Yeah.
Martha, are these, when was the last time we did this? I mean, we did it a while back, right? Something similar?
I'm sorry, we do this every year. So
Okay.
what we do is we just try to remove them from our books, from our accounts receivable. If there are accounts that are 5 years or older, then we remove them from our books. But like I said, our efforts are still continued every year or every day on a daily basis.
Okay.
You know what I would like to recommend is maybe the finance committee can have a committee when you guys get ready to do this, so that they can look at all these accounts. And then that way, when we have a meeting to approve or disapprove of the write-off, at least they've reviewed all this and we're aware of what's going to take place. Okay? Yes, yeah, you're correct. We do it every year. There's accounts that it's impossible to collect, but I understand you all continue to
Ooh, I lost voice. I can't hear Miss Vigil.
Yeah, we lost her.
I hit the mute button by mistake.
Oh, okay.
I think I was saying that you did hear that I said that maybe it's best to meet with the finance committee when we're ready to write off something. That way you guys are fully aware and can ask all the questions, so that when you bring it back to the board, we are aware that you all met and you understand, and we make that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely agree. That's a great idea, because I do have a couple of ideas. Maybe sending out developing a letter, maybe the format, and see how often we can send that letter out to try to collect. But we can manage that in the finance committee. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you guys need to meet and go over that, and then we'll take it from there. At the moment, how much did you say, Martha, that is that we're going to write off?
It was $61,437.26.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot, but when you think of all the customers we have. Okay.
Even disgraced former FBI Director McCain details how
It's got their TV on and we're listening to the news. Okay, we'll move on to the next item.
Rosie, do we need to table it, or what do we need to do? Is this just information? That's all it was?
No, it's to take action to write off. Now, we have a choice. We can either table and let the finance committee meet with them so you guys can come up with what ideas and who it was, or we go ahead and understand that this is something we do. I mean, you know, I'm sure Martha's gotten with Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Grijalva on this. It's not something she just come up with.
Okay, yeah.
And it's something they've made a strong effort in trying to collect, and you just can't collect, but they're not going to give up in trying to continue to collect. So I say that, you know, I think we need to go ahead and approve and get this out of the way, but with the understanding that we're going to continue to collect. Now, you all can meet, Mr. Grijalva can call a finance committee meeting and say, hey, look, this is what we're still doing in attempt to try to collect the 61,000 and some.
Okay, I understand. Yes, thank you.
So if you all understand, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the write-off of the delinquent accounts not to exceed the 61,437.26 with the understanding that you will meet with the finance committee to go over everything, that we can come up with some ideas and see how we're going to go about still trying to collect, keeping in mind that there could be a count that there's no way we're collect. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And I'll second that motion. This is Rod Chavez.
Okay, it's seconded by Mr. Chavez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 18, discussion and possible action to approve the adoption of a resolution to the Rio Grande Council of Government for the submittal of an application for community cleanup events through fiscal year 2021 Regional Solid Waste Project Allocation COG Managed Program. Mr. Flores.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, staff. Before you this evening, we have an agenda for a resolution having the possibility of submitting an application with the Rio Grande Council of Governments. Last year, the Rio Grande Council of Governments did not have an application process because the funding was diverted for their 10-year plan. So this year, we went ahead and are getting ready to submit this application with your approval. We are estimating that we are going to do 6 events, and we are partnering with the city of Socorro and also with the city of San Elizario. Not only will this be a community event for the Lower Valley Water District, but also for those both cities. They will be providing in-kind services. As far as the staff is concerned, this grant will pay for the disposal fees and some of the equipment that we'll be using for the events. And so we are trying to go ahead and submit this. This application is due. There's a small, short shelf life for this. It is due on the 28th of September. And then we'll go ahead and submit. On this application process, we are competing with 6 other counties, since the Rio Grande Council of Government is a 6-county region. There's only in the pot for this is about $82,000 when you compete with 6 other entities. Any funds that are not used for this project gets diverted to the city of El Paso for their tire amnesty disposal fees. So we try to go ahead and use as much money as possible. The last time that we submitted this application, which was 2 years ago, we did receive a little bit over $10,000, which was good for 2 events at the city of Socorro. So this time we'll be asking for more money for the grant project, and then we'll be able to expend as much dollars as possible. So that's what we're trying to do. Madam President and board members, do you all have any questions for me or Mr. Magallanes?
Now, does any other member have any Any questions regarding this? This is pretty much what we went over, Mondo, no, for the recycling.
Yes, ma'am, that's what we went over. Yes,
Right.
you're correct.
Recycling committee met on this and this was good. We need to get this done. And if no one has any questions, I so move to approve the item as presented.
And I'll second the motion. This is Rod Chavez.
Sounds like they're mumbling. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you. It is 7:21 p.m. The Board of Directors will retire in executive session pursuant to sections 551.071 through 551.076 Texas Government Code to discuss any of the following. 551.071 and 551.072, discussion regarding pending personnel matters. Discussion to allow general manager to negotiate purchase of real estate for Bejar Estates project. Discussion to allow general manager to negotiate purchase of real estate in Mesa del Norte project area. It is 7:22. We will exit out and join in under an executive session login. Thank you.